Hi everyone. So we are going to talk about wireless. So today video will be more about introduction to wireless. This training will be more ideal for somebody who has a very good understanding in network. And for most of my past students who have good understanding with network, this will be an ideal video for you to get a concept about wireless. So when we talk of wireless, what is it all about? So we all know that as a network engineer, you should be good with networking and you should be good with wireless as well. Which means that with the wired network, which I believe most of you with network background, which is what we are normally trained on, we have the understanding about the infrastructure aspect, the devices we use, the protocol and standard that we have. But when it comes to wireless, it's also part of network, which is more like extension of wired network. So let's say your company have a location where you can't connect cables to, or you cannot have cable connection in that location, like your car park, like your cafeteria. You can't go there with your laptop connected with cables. So that makes wireless connection very useful in that situation. So when we talk of wireless or wireless LAN, we are just referring to computer network where high frequency waves are used instead of cable to connect devices within limited area of LAN. So users connected by wireless LAN can move around within the same premises, which could be a campus network, it could be a school network, or even your home network. So your home network, you have some of these routers which gives you wireless capability to be able to connect your TV, your phones, and all those stuff. That is the concept about wireless. So you don't have cable connection, or even you can be in an airline, still connecting to a laptop, or you can be in a railway train, or like a train, and still have access to Wi-Fi connectivity. So wireless is all about that. So it means that it still give you access to be able to connect devices together, but the medium for communication or the medium for connection is no more cables, but is what? Radio waves. That is the whole concept about wireless. And wireless is based upon the standard of 8 IEEE 802.11. So as network engineers, I know that we have 802.3, which we are all aware of that. That is for Ethernet connectivity. So that is the standard we use when it comes to Ethernet connectivity or wired connectivity. But when it comes to wireless, the protocol, the standard we use is 802.3. So IEEE define the specification of range for wireless technologies, and we are going to go through all those standards as well. But basically wireless use the standard of 802.11, and then through that we have various standards that we apply in terms of our connectivity purpose, or what vendors can produce their device in terms of working groups areas. So that is basically about wireless. And then we have types of wireless LAN that we have. So we have the ad hoc mode that comes with no infrastructure. So let's say you have your PC here, you have another PC here. You can just create a group name and be able to connect to each other using the wireless adapter. So you don't have access points, you don't have any switch. So there is no infrastructure when it comes to ad hoc. So that is something to know. But the common one which we are going to focus this training on will be the infrastructure mode. So infrastructure mode, you can have AP, you can even have a wireless controller which will manage all the wireless AP as well. You have a switch where you connect your APs or your wireless controller on. So there is infrastructure when it comes to this type, and that is why we call it infrastructure mode. So where your mobile devices or clients connect to access point, that tends to connect your LAN, because as I said, wireless is just extending your LAN without cable. That is the concept or the benefit of having what? Wireless on your environment. And every company have that, and most of company now are using wireless, and wireless is becoming very popular. But let's go through the disadvantage and advantages of having a wireless. So in terms of disadvantages, since radio waves are used for communication, the signals that you use as a medium of connection, because with wireless you need to have a signal that you connect to based on your AP or your hotspot or whatever the case may be. And there sometimes there could be interference with microwaves or other devices that interfere. So in terms of connectivity, it might not be like you have cable connection. So that is one key thing. And also in terms of security, it's not as secured when it comes to wired, because this one you are connecting through radio waves, so somebody can hijack the information and work with it. So in terms of security, it's not as great as compared to wired. So greater care is needed when you are transmitting your information from the wireless connection to, or your means of communication to other device or whatever the case may be. And then in terms of wireless LAN, performance is also key, because you will not have it as faster as you have on wired. Now with wired medium of communication, you can have a fiber connection which can give you very good speed. So that is very, very important in terms of that. And then when it comes to the advantages using wireless, they provide clutter-free homes or office or other network places. What I mean by that is, with this session, you can have the connection anywhere. You can have it in your farm, you can have it in the airline, you can have it on the railway whilst you are moving around. You can also have it at your cafeteria and all that. So this really helps when it comes to wireless setup as against another advantage when it comes to wireless is the LAN is scalable in nature. Devices may be added or removed from the network at greater ease than wired connection. So if it's wireless, you can just remove your AP and that is it. But if it's wired, you have to remove your switch, you have to disconnect cables and all those stuff. So in terms of scalability, you can just introduce it anywhere that you want. You can scale it up on your parking lot, on your let's say your garden or whatever. Even if it's your home, you can just install one AP at any location that you want to extend your network coverage to, and that becomes with ease. And the system is portable within network coverage. Access to network is not bounded by the length of cables. In terms of wired, we have limited level of connection, like copper cable. The best practice you can have is to not go beyond 300 feet. Wireless, it depends on the cable, whether you are using multi-mode or you are using single mode cable. So it is limited. You are limited in terms of how far you can go. But wireless, you don't have that situation. You can just even install repeater and it can extend the coverage as you want. Installation and setup is more easier as compared to wired. In terms of what I've spoken about, you need a switch, you need cable connection. So installation is more easier when it comes to wireless. And then when it comes to equipment and setup cost, it's more cheaper, because all you need is AP. And then you can have multiple APs for connection and you are good to go when it comes to the advantages and the disadvantages. And then the range of wireless network. So wireless network can be divided into four major types based on the range of coverage. So we have wireless personal area network, which you can use your Bluetooth to do for that purpose. But this give you a short range of wireless coverage. So you can have a connection from your smartphone to your mobile network. You can have a Bluetooth connection from your TV to your laptop or to your phone, but that will be within a limited area of coverage. You can also transfer files and whatever it is through your Bluetooth connection using using the wireless personal area network. So we have one type called wireless personal area network. Limitation or disadvantage is the limit of coverage. And then we also have wireless local area network, which is what we use in the industry. This is with the infrastructure aspect of access point, wireless controllers, and all those stuff. Now this also, it's not, you can't have it everywhere. You can't have it within the metropolitan. Then you have to have so many APs. So the technology or the infrastructure with this will be different. Your equipment you use will be different. And then in terms of how do you call it, the data rate is up to 10 gig when you have this situation. And then the radio waves, you can have 2.4 or 5 gigahertz, which is what I think most of our home network is using in terms of the routers that we use. So you can see that your connectivity is with the frequency of 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. And this is what we use for most corporate network. So that is something you have to know. Then you can have wireless metropolitan area network. So you can have one LAN at let's say location A, another LAN at location B, and you are not connecting the two LAN together or your wide area network together using cable, but you are rather using wireless. There are companies using this technology where they will give you a base station involving antennas and modems to be able to connect to another location. The downside of this is the data rate is up to 1 gig, which is not bad, which is more like what ISP can also provide if you are to connect two LAN together. So this is also good in terms of that. So we have company where you can connect within few kilometers. When it comes to wireless LAN, you have just hundreds of meters, but if you want to go with kilometers connectivity, because you have a campus network, let's say like some of these universities like Harvard University, you can connect one block to another block using the wireless metropolitan area network if the building distance is within kilometers. And then we have the wireless wide area network, which can give you a very long range. Okay, and that is where you use satellite, you use cellular towers, and the only downside is your speed limit or your data rate is up to 100 meg. So that is something that is also available in the industry. So like the vessels when they are on the sea, these are connectivity areas you can have. You can also have one of your branch office in let's say US, another location in different country, and you can use satellite to connect to each other. So this technology allows you to have a long range of wireless connectivity. So in terms of wireless, in terms of technology purpose, you can have or connectivity technology. You can have the wireless personal area network, which is used by the Bluetooth, and then you can have the wireless LAN, which we connect using Wi-Fi connection like APs and all those stuff, like the infrastructure aspect that I spoke about. And then you can have the metropolitan area network of wireless, where it gives you long range of wireless connectivity using base stations, antennas to connect each other. So your company can have one city location as a remote office, and you connect to another city by using this technology in terms of branch office connectivity to your data center. Instead of using maybe ISP with cable connection, we have providers who can give you wireless connectivity between your branch office to your data center without necessarily using ISP cable connection for you to be able to access your resources at the data center. The same comes with the wireless using satellite. So we have providers who can give you connectivity when it comes to that angle as well. And then let's go to the wireless network standard. So several wireless network standard are included in the 802.11 family standard I spoke about. I said that the network 1 or Ethernet will be 802.3, so engineers should be aware of this. Now, this standard are developed by IEEE, which is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. They define the specification of range of wireless for us, and then some of which can be designed for short range communication, whilst others will be used for longer range communication. And then the technology depends on so many factors. It could be based on frequency band, modulation schemes, transmit power, and then the environment which is deployed. This gives you just overview of some of the standard, the frequency, in terms of speed limits you can have. So if you look at it very well, this is very old. From here to here are old technology. I mean, it's up to 2009 that it was developed, and this gives you limited speed, as you can see over here. So this is your maximum throughput. In terms of range, this is what you can have. But now you can have 2024, we are in 2024. You can have as this, which will be 802.11be. It works within the frequency range of 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. You can have 2.4 gig. Okay, that is very, very good. And then in terms of maximum, you can even have up to 40 gig. And then the coverage that you can have, the range, indoor and outdoor, can be used for indoor and outdoor. It's also not bad at all. So these are the things that you have in the industry. You can have APs supporting this standard, so you have to be sure, which we are going to go through specific. And this should also support your client in terms of the phone should be able to connect to all this capability that you have in terms of frequency and all that. So we are going to go through that. So this is all about wireless. We've spoken about what wireless is all about, the types. We've also spoken about the advantages and disadvantages. We've spoken about the range of wireless network we have based on communication level. So in terms of the range of connectivity, you can have the wireless WPAN, the WLAN, WMANs, W1s. All these are used for wide area connectivity. These are used for metropolitan area connectivity. These are used for local area network connectivity. So if you are within one building, you are going to use your wireless LAN. You want to connect your branch office within the same metropolitan, you can use this technology if you don't want to use cable connection from ISP. If you also don't want to use cable connection from different international or intercontinental purpose, you can also use this as well. Then we spoke about the standard we have in wireless. So this is basically to give you an idea about the introduction of wireless.